All right, everybody, get ready. Because in this deep dive, we're going to be getting down and dirty with the world of building materials.
Yeah, but we're not just talking about bricks and mortar here. We're going deeper. We're talking about the careers of the people who live and breathe this stuff.
Exactly. Building material specialized sellers. And, you threw a whole bunch of sources our way, industry reports, career guides, the whole shebang. So we're here to sift through them and find those golden nuggets.
That's right. We're going to break down what this career really means, the good, the bad, the challenges, the rewards, and how it all connects to the bigger picture of the construction industry.
So tell me, have you ever, actually thought about what a building materials specialized seller does all day? I mean, it's got to be more than just, pointing people to the right aisle, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. The construction world is changing so fast these days. New materials, new technologies, it's constant. From self-healing concrete to these engineered wood products that are stronger and way more sustainable. It's incredible.
It's wild.
And all these customers, whether they're seasoned contractors or just regular folks tackling a DIY project, they need help navigating this stuff. It can be overwhelming. And that's where the specialized seller comes in. They're the guide.
Okay, so I'm picturing myself, right? I want to be in this world. I'm a building materials specialized seller. What's my day look like? Paint me a picture.
All right, so it's a busy morning at the building supply store. A contractor walks in, blueprints in hand, needs to source some sustainable insulation for a new office complex, let's say. Now, you're not just pointing them towards a shelf and calling it a day. You're explaining the different R values, fire ratings, even the environmental impact of each option. You're helping them make a truly informed choice for their project.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This takes serious know-how. You got to know this stuff like the back of your hand. It's not just lumber and plywood. You got to know the science, how to use it, where to use it.
Yeah. Right. You're not just selling a product, you're selling your expertise. And then later that afternoon, you might have a homeowner who needs advice on the best flooring for their kitchen remodel. Maybe they've heard about bamboo or cork, but they're totally lost in the sea of options. You're there to walk them through it all.
So it's like you're a consultant, but for building materials.
Exactly. You're using your knowledge to help people bring their visions to life. And let's be real, this isn't all happening from behind a desk. You're in the thick of it, the lumberyard, the hardware store. There's lifting, moving, dust, noise. It's a very hands-on kind of job.
Okay, so it's not all sunshine and perfectly aligned lumber stacks. Got it. So it sounds like this job needs a special someone, knowledge, stamina, and people skills, all rolled into one.
Absolutely. And when we talk about what it takes to really excel in this field, our sources all seem to highlight a few key pros and cons. Let's start with the good stuff.
So for all of us out there who are like, building materials, maybe that's the move. What's in it for me? What's so great about this gig?
Right, because it can't all be lugging lumber and decoding building codes, right?
Exactly.
Well, one of the big perks that came up again and again in these sources is the flexibility. We're talking work-life balance, baby. This isn't your typical 9 to 5, stuck behind a desk kind of deal.
Okay, that's huge. Especially these days, everyone wants that flexibility. But I gotta imagine it's not all rainbows and sunshine, right? There's got to be a trade-off somewhere.
You're right. Every rose has its thorn. And in this case, the sources were pretty clear. This isn't a learn it once and you're good kind of career. The construction world is constantly evolving. New materials, technologies, regulations. It's a whirlwind out there.
So you're always learning, always adapting. You're like a building materials Jedi master, constantly honing your craft.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. A few years ago, 3D printed houses were like something out of the Jetsons, pure science fiction. Now, totally happening. People are actually building them.
Wild.
So picture this, a customer walks into your store, totally stoked about this 3D printed house thing, but clueless about the building codes, sourcing materials, the whole 9 yards. But you've been keeping up with the trends. You know your stuff. You're not just selling them building materials, you're selling them the future.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got me hooked. How do I even break into this world? Where do I even begin?
Well, according to our sources, you gotta get your hands dirty. And I mean that both literally and figuratively.
Love it.
One way is to dive headfirst into the construction industry. Get out there, work as a laborer, really see how these materials are used in the real world.
Get that firsthand experience.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're not quite ready to swing a hammer, you can always start in a building materials store. Familiarize yourself with the products, the lingo, become a resource for customers.
Okay, so kind of like an apprenticeship for building materials. You're learning the ropes, making connections. I dig it.
And just like an apprentice works their way up to master craftsperson, this career has paths to level up too.
Okay, lay it on me. What are my options?
Well, our sources highlighted two big ones: management and sales for bigger companies. So if you're a born leader, love mentoring people, and thrive on organization, the management track could be your jam.
Yeah, climb that ladder. Become the department head, maybe even manage a whole store or a regional warehouse. I
Yeah.
like it.
Right, but maybe you're more of a people person. You love building relationships, negotiating deals, working on those big picture projects.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Then a sales role for a manufacturer or a distributor might be more your speed. Think working with architects, developers, even government agencies, making sure they've got the right materials for those massive projects.
Okay, so no matter what kind of person you are, there's a path for you in this field. But like you said earlier, it's competitive out there. How do I, as a building materials specialized seller, really stand out from the crowd? What's my secret weapon?
It all boils down to passion and expertise. And lucky for you, our sources gave us some seriously good advice. Number one, never stop learning. The construction game is constantly changing, so you got to commit to ongoing education.
And I'm not talking about just skimming through some product catalogs, right? We're
Yeah.
talking real deal education, specialized courses, industry conferences, the whole shebang.
You got it. Picture this. You attend a workshop on the latest eco-friendly building practices. Then you use that knowledge to advise a client on how to make their project more sustainable and cost-effective. Boom! Instant value add.
See, you're not just a salesperson anymore. You're a trusted advisor, a problem solver, a walking, talking building materials encyclopedia. And you know what just popped into my head? What about, like, a portfolio?
Ooh, interesting.
Is that something?
Yeah, it's not just for architects and designers anymore.
Right, because I'm imagining you walk into an interview, you've got this digital showcase of all the cool projects you've worked on, testimonials from happy customers, maybe even some 3D renderings.
Exactly. It's a real, tangible way to show off your knowledge, how you solve problems, your passion for this whole building world.
Yeah. You're not just telling them, hey, I'm a building materials specialized seller. You're showing them.
Huge difference. And these days, when everyone's applying for jobs online, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. You gotta have that edge. And that's where those tools like RoleCatcher can really come in handy.
Okay, so RoleCatcher. I've heard of it, but break it down for me. What's the deal?
Think of it like your career sidekick. This platform helps you tailor your resume and cover letter to each specific job, analyzes what skills employers are really looking for. They even have AI that gives you feedback on your interview skills. It's kind of like having a career coach in your back pocket.
So basically, it's like taking everything we've been talking about, all this juicy building materials,
Yeah.
knowledge, the skills, and help you package it up so you really shine for those potential employers.
Exactly. Finding that dream job is all about making the right connections, showing them what you bring to the table.
Man, after going this deep into building materials, specialized knowledge, and heck, even grout really gets you thinking. What will the building materials of the future look like? What are we going to be building with?
Right? It's a total trip. Are we going to have skyscrapers made of self-healing concrete? Houses grown from mushroom bricks?
Okay, now that's what I want to know.
Who knows? That's the exciting part we get to find out.
And hey, maybe someone listening to this right now will be the one advising on those futuristic materials, shaping the world as a building materials specialized seller.
I love it. From selling lumber to shaping skylines, the possibilities are endless.